What's up? Welcome to the channel. How you doing? Today we're going to be working on the E46. Now, the title of this video is heated seats. So I don't know if you guys know, but sports seats are like pretty expensive, especially if they're in decent condition. So we got them for real cheap. We got these seats for 120 bucks. The only problem is they are not heated, but the seats are in really good shape. So I decided to buy them anyways, thinking, hey, I will just integrate her original heated pads from her original seats into here, since this car is wired for heated seats. But I found out really quickly that the original pads are not the same as the sports seat pads. I found these cheap heated seats that were trashed online, and I'm using these as donor seats, and plus they're coupe seats. We have a sedan, so we are going to take these, tear the heated baffles out of it, and we're going to integrate them into our seats in our car, because these are the ugliest seats that you will ever see ever in your entire life. So I took apart the passenger seat for the heat pads. I was going to retrofit them, but then I found out they're really not the same. So I was like, man. And then we found the donor seats, and we're like, ah, screw it. The guy gave us a really good deal on them, insanely cheap, pretty much almost free. So I was like, ah, we'll just rip the pads out of those and put them in our seats. I found a way that we are going to do it, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to take these seats, I'm going to pull them out, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do on our donor seats. Okay, these seats are fairly easy to take out. Just move the seat back. You reveal two 16mm bolts, one right there, one right there. Then you move the seat forward all the way. Ooh, a quarter. One. Take the seat, tilt it up, because you need to get to the seatbelt bolt. Center it so it's easier to get out. Tilt the seat back, and then here is the connector right here. There's this black piece. You just want to stick a flathead in there, or your fingernail or something, and pull it out. Once you pull it out, the plug comes right out. Then after that, you can just take the seat out of the car, and we'll start taking it apart. Okay, just to be sure, I took the donor seat and I just plugged it into the car. Heated seats work fine. The front little slidey thing works, the butt works, and the back works really good. So now I'm confident to take this back out of the car and tear it apart. This is our donor seat. We need the pads out of here, and instead of pulling the seat all apart, yeah, we could probably do it nicely, but we're just going to cut it. We're going to cut the stitching along these lines, and along these lines, and along the lines of the little expansion part. We're gonna cut it, and then we'll go from there. We pretty much got all the heated seat pads out. That right there is an occupancy sensor, so if it's a passenger seat, make sure you still have that in there. Now we got these that we need to worry about. So the center of the pads are out, and as you can see, the heated pads are kind of fixed to the seats, and they are sewn into the seat pads. So what we were gonna do, I don't know, maybe cut every 3 stitches, and it'll just come right out pretty much. And what sucks is, since it's connected right here too at these stitch points, you got to cut these two, which is not a big deal. I think, yep, it is connected here too, so you got to cut these two. So we're going to cut those off, and then we will have our pads separated from our seats. We'll clean up our work area, and then we're going to bring the new seat over here, and we're going to take it apart nicely. Here's our pretty seat. So now we are going to start taking it apart. So first thing we got to do is, and actually before you take it out of your car, it's a little easier if you just raise the back of the seat up like that. That way you can separate the plastic from like the railing. We're gonna take these 2 torque screws out, T20s. So on this side it's just a cover, but on this side you got like this whole freaking power shebang. We got a flathead screwdriver, and if you can see, there's all these little clips, right? There's one clip right here. There's one clip in the front that you need to just pull out. This one you need to pry up. This one you need to pry up. And then you have to look through the holes, because on the top side there's going to be more clips. I think there's one in the back and one in the front. Now I'm gonna start working on this thing, and then when I'm done, I'll show you exactly what's going on. Here are the clips. One clip right here, one clip right here, one clip right here, one clip right here, and then that's it to get it off. Now we have these plugs. We can just ditch under the seat and take our T30, and there's a total of 4 bolts that remove this plastic piece. 1, 2, 3, and then if you look real closely in there, there's a gold bolt. That's number 4. So you got to take those 4 off. This is holding a plastic clip on so that you can start undoing the bottom part of the seat. So there's one right here, and then that just sits in there, that just sits in there, and one over here. So there's a total of 2. So you can just get these off. And this one's already. Now there's these things called Hodge clips, right? They're metal rings that you pretty much have a special plier with, and you just clamp them. It basically holds stuff together. So what I do to get those out is you can either cut them if you have something strong enough, or I just use needle nose pliers, and what I do is I stick the needle nose pliers inside the ring, right? And then what you do is you just open the pliers and it pulls the Hodge clip perfectly away. See, there's another one over here. So I'll get that one out. And then that pretty much totally frees up the bottom of the seat. You could just take your flathead or some type of interior removal tool. I just have a flathead. What you do is you pull it out of the bottom like this, and you kind of just bring it all out. Like that. So now we got that off. Same with the sides. There you go, I got one side off. And then on the bottom here, it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but there are like these metal tabs that hold the front of the expandy part. There's one right here, and then there's a small one in the middle right under this. So what I do is take my flathead, stick it in there, and you kind of just pry it up away from the seat. Just pry that middle one up. We just got all of our leather separated from our seat. Now there's one more thing you need to do. It's going to be a little metal bar, and it's going to be attached to the seat. So what you got to do is push it away from you to release it from one side, and then you got to pull it towards you to release it from the front side, and then vice versa. You got to push it away again, and then it starts slowly coming apart. And we'll start on the other side, and we'll just meet in the middle, push it down, pull it up, push it down. Okay, now we got that part separated. Now that's just the freaking easy part. We still gotta do the hard part. What we're trying to do is we're trying to separate the pad from the foam. Now it's pretty much already separated. The only problem is right here where the seam is, there's a bar in there that is held into another bar inside of the seat cushion by Hodge rings. So we pretty much need to get here. We pretty much need to get down here, which is also held in by more Hodge rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that we could separate the cushion from the foam. See, there's a couple more Hodge rings right here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pull them out one by one. Right here, there's a seam, right? Seam right here, seam right here. All those are Hodge rings. You can see when we pry this out a little bit, there's one Hodge ring there, 2, and 3, and another one back here, 4. Same on the other side. And then there should be like 3 or 4 more here. So we're gonna do that very carefully because we don't jack up our seat. And then we should be able to finally pull the leather away from the foam. So we had 4 Hodge rings, 4 Hodge rings, 3 Hodge rings. Now we are separated, so we can move on to the top of the seat. Now we're just gonna pull the headrest off, and then these clips. Pull these clips off, and we'll take these off gently with the spring so we don't lose them. Gently take my flathead and roll the leather on top. There we go. Now there's these 2 little black things. you're pretty much gonna trash them when you take them out, but try your best not to. I got myself this little kit on freaking eBay. This was, I think it was like 14 or 15 bucks. And then I also bought this hot ring plier kit. We'll go over that in a minute. Probably not even gonna use it. Just pick your poison. I think I'll use this one. Sweet. Broke that one. We'll break this one next. There you go. Pull down. And this piece slides right up. You see these little clips right here? Now we got this. It's held in by like a little pull string right here. As you can see, it's wrapped around this metal bracket. So we want to get that loose. So just pull on that. Good. Same with the other side. Good. More hot rings. 1, 2. Then you unhook it from here, this metal part. Okay, now we got the bottom and the back of the seat free. Now we can slowly start pulling it all off. So we can pull all these hot rings off. Yeah. When we pull this apart, we reveal 2 hot rings, one right there, one right there. And then eventually we'll get to these right here. There's 3 right there. And then as we keep doing that, and we do the side again, and then we'll do the hot rings right here, then keep going, and then keep going all the way up to the top, and then we can pull the whole skin off. We got the seats separated from the foam. Now, as you can see on these non-heated seats, it has these metal bars, right? On the middle and on the sides. The side just has like a longer one. Goes all the way through on this seam, right? Just like the middle, you see how there's seams in the middle? They have these bars, right? So it holds them into the seat. That way the leather doesn't get all loose and look all terrible over time. So on our donor seats, as you can see, we had to cut the heat pad away from the seat. So as you can see, it was leather, heat pad, and then this like heat or foam or whatever, right? So of course we had to cut these off, these metal bars, so they no longer exist. So that kind of sucks, but let me show you what we gotta do. We gotta leave the metal bars on this seat, right? But we have to cut the foam off, or else it's gonna dampen, you know, the heat pads, and they won't work that well. So what we're gonna do is just go in here. We're not gonna get anywhere near the seam, but we're just gonna cut the foam with maybe some scissors. We'll position the pads in there, make sure they look good, and then instead of using hot rings, we are going to be using zip ties. So you see every gap, that's where our hot ring went. Hot ring, hot ring, hot ring, hot da 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 da. 1, 2, 3. Same right here. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna be using zip ties. So you see these original holes, right? Where the stitches went through. You know that where the stitches went through, it wasn't disturbing the heat element. We got 100 zip ties. So what we're gonna do is, I'm not gonna do it all on camera, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this zip tie. We're gonna put it in place of the hot ring. Then we're gonna put the zip tie through these existing holes. That way we're not disturbing the heat elements. So we're gonna set up the time lapse again. This is going to be a major pain in the ass, but we're just gonna get it done. I wanted to have the heads of the zip ties on the inside. That way, when I slide the cushion back in, I can just zip tie one of them at a time, get in there, cut it, zip tie. So I'm gonna start here, 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 and then I'll do these 3, and then I'll go here, here, then these 3, then here, here. And also, we gotta throw a few right here because we have to zip tie these right back into the bolsters. So you could tell there's 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3. So I'll throw 3 more zip ties right there. That way everything's tight to the cushion. We are going to zip tie this one by one to the cushion. That way, hopefully everything will be just like OEM. It's just not gonna have these freaking metal clips. And we are going to start right now. While she's been zip tying the top seat, I went ahead, put the heat pad on the bottom seat, stuck all the zip ties out like that. But for the little slidey thingy, I don't really know how to do it because it was all sewn. So what I do is I just took some zip ties, and when you wrap it around the seat, hopefully they should be hidden. While she's finishing that up, looks pretty good actually. I'm going to take this, take the bottom pad, and I'm going to start zip tying it. Okay, and now comes time for the hod rings. So there's these special pliers, and they got like these little staple looking things you stick in the pliers. And then what you do, you put it through the holes that you want, and then you just crimp it. So what I did was I pulled the leather around the back of the seat, and I got the pliers in there in the hole. Got that nice and tight. So I could use a zip tie there, but it might break because there's a lot of tension on it. So we're gonna go ahead and hod ring that puppy right back in that hole. Now, let's throw the cover on while she's at it. How you doing over there? What's the ETA?
I don't know.
10 minutes? 20 minutes? 100?
Hungry.
I know, we're gonna go eat. I have to put this black border back around the bottom on this pad for the I don't know, I've just been calling it the slidey thing. I just put tiny little zip ties just around the border. Hopefully they don't get in the way when I'm going to clip this thing back in. Remember these little tabs? You gotta squeeze them back closed so they don't pop out. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, right here, and 3. Put a pad on the leather and I'm gonna squeeze it back closed. You can finish putting this back on the front. Then you can bolt your plastics back on. Put your controls back on. And then that plastic, of course. That plastic, put the back on. Remember, you push it in and then slide it up. Find something to put back in the bottom because remember how we freaking pretty much trash these things? You can try to shove it back in there. Just need something to hold it. Okay guys, so there's 2 things I did not explain very well. There's a connection right here. This goes to the back. This goes to the back. It goes this way and then it shoots up. You can see it right there. And then it goes over and then, you know, does the seat. Bottom pad comes out right here. And they both plug into a main plug. As you can see, this one separates the top pad from the bottom pad. Bottom pad on this side, top pad on this side. And then it goes to this main plug. Now this main plug needs to be plugged into this plug right here. This is the quick lock plug. There's these little clips, right? So you pinch that side, you pinch that side, you push it up, and then you could slide this top clip back. So look. Now we're sliding. So now we're gonna take our heated seat plug. You could tell there's an empty slot, right? And it's only gonna go in one way. See, it's not going in that way. So we need to take this and flip it around. Push it in the plug, just like that. And then close it back up. Just make sure you're not pinching anything. Just like that. And now what it does is it takes that plug and it integrates it into like this whole plug deal. So we're gonna take this, slide it back in. Missy, can you chill? Can you chill? Trying to finish off this video so that we can get the seat back in the car. And then you just take all this wiring. I guess you can, there's a bunch of random clips under the seat. You just take it in there, secure it in there. That way it doesn't rub when you move your seat back and forth. Oh, we gotta put the headrest clips back on. You take this clip, slide it into the springs and just push it in. There we go, we're good there. Cool, now we can take it, put it back in the car. Let me tell you, these heated seats don't work. Moving.
Moving? Why wouldn't you just sell the car?
Nope, going to Australia.
You hear that? We're going to Australia.
Sports seats do come heated, but you know, sometimes we just like to take the
more difficult route?
We like to take the more difficult route, the more complicated route, because we're car enthusiasts, you know? So sometimes when life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade.
What?
Oh, we're getting warm. We're gonna go full warm, hold on. I wanna get toasty. My girlfriend's cruising to work in these hot seats every day. She's gonna think of me. That's right. Took a little bit longer than we expected, but as usual, we got it done. It works, everything turned out great. That's gonna be it for the E46 today, but we'll probably do something else to it soon. See you guys next time. This is Aisha Garza from Slightly Modified. Peace out.